Coming in now. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Good morning. I think it's morning for everybody. Might be afternoon for some people. Let's go ahead and get started today. So today is November what did I say? Is it the 6th?
It's the 6th.
Also in my mind, it's the 13th. But anyway, it's November 6th. This is session 2 of our series, my series, our Like All of Us Together series on stress management and yoga and Ayurveda. And before we get into what we're doing today, I would love to know, how did your homework go? How was your experience over the past week with your asana practice and your breathing and your sleep? Any highlights or key takeaways that you'd like to share?
So I'll share. I wasn't able to do the first class live, so I watched the video. And for me, sleep has always been problematic my entire life. And one of the things that I have incorporated recently is actually taking a melatonin supplement in the evening. I was doing gummies, it wasn't working, so I just did a time release. And I've realized that no matter what I had applied, whether it was an evening meditation, an evening yoga, relaxation, visualizations, all of this, none of that helped me, but taking the melatonin helped. I have slept so well the last week in ways that I haven't the rest of my life.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think I don't think it's one or the other. I think it's a combination of all of the different things I've applied, but it has made a huge difference and it's given me more energy. Unfortunately, I have rheumatoid arthritis. I can't do a yoga practice in the morning. I know that is ideal, but I'm just not flexible enough in the morning. So I tend to take it at a lunchtime break, and I'm finding I have more energy because I'm sleeping better, more energy in the morning. I feel more energized when I take the break to do the practice. Super. So it's been great. It's been great. Awesome. And I thought the first session was great. I was sorry to miss it live.
Very good. Well, you're here now. Yeah. And, for people who have, something going on, be it a medical condition you're working with, or you had, I don't know, you have a baby in the house and you were awake half the night, or, whatever, busy schedule, something like that, and you can't do practice in the morning, like asana practice, you can do some breathing practice. Wake up, sit, do 5 breaths or 1 minute or 3 minutes, set a timer and do a little bit of breathing. And that also can be a very nice morning practice to get your brain organized and ready to begin your day. Even just a minute can help. Yeah. And then get your asana practice in when you can, when it works for you.
I think
any other feedback?
The breathing, I think I'm not finding the time to do it like I'm doing with the asana. I'm fine. And I guess I have to think back to the beginning to see, was it the same for doing even just yoga? Was I struggling with finding the time to do it? Because I'm finding the time to do the asana, but this breathing, I don't know. know. Yeah.
It may be helpful. For me, I'm kind of like not a troublemaker, but I may be perceived as a little bit of a troublemaker when I go to my classes in India, because my brain really needs to know the why. If I know the why, I'm much more motivated to do the thing. And so the why behind the breathing that maybe can help you, to do a breathing practice, is to know that the breathing is more powerful than the asana. So we all have to start at asana because it's easier for us. It's easier for our brains and our bodies to understand that. But once you get asana sorted out, and I know, Nikki, you've been practicing for a long time, many of you have, you can start working on the breathing. And, you can even, really, I've never really consciously thought about this, but 5 minutes of breathing is probably more powerful than 30 minutes of asana. So if you're in a time crunch, just sit and do a little bit of breathing. It's really powerful. Yeah, so hopefully that the reason behind will give you a little bit of motivation and help you get going with that. Good. Other feedback or experience that you've had, Kelly?
Yeah, so I actually, I'm a good sleeper. This is actually one thing I don't struggle with an awful lot.
You're
but
lucky.
I do find, I know, I do.
You were my favorite person. Now you're not.
So But I do find on stressful weeks, I had a very stressful week, and I knew I was going to have a stressful week, and I planned to go with the flow, which, you know, really isn't my thing. But I went with the flow to try and fit things in when I could, and learned a lot because of it. I guess going with the flow maybe is better than I think it is.
Yeah.
I know, I like regiment. I like a plan.
I know this about you.
So, noon, I echo Michelle. We're taking that break at noon just does wonders for my day.
Yes.
But stressful weeks, while I sleep well, it's a restless sleep because my stress goes into very active dreaming. And so what I'm realizing is I need to take more time at night to breathe. My breathing practice I do at night. I need to take more time. I need to spend a bit more time, and then maybe the sleep won't be quite as active as it is on stressful weeks.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right.
Yeah.
Very good.
And I journaled everything, which I'm not a big journaler, but I really enjoyed it. So I will keep that up because it helps.
I like
your idea. A lot.
Good. Yeah, lots of learnings. I like your idea about doing like the benefit of doing practice in the middle of the day. It makes a lot of sense because, you know, if we're working like a traditional kind of job where, you know, you start working at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning and you're expected to work until 5, you know, there's lots of activity going on in your brain for the whole morning, meetings, talking to people, you know, doing things, spreadsheets, whatever it is. And then you can give your mind a break and reset and kind of recalibrate so that you can start fresh in the afternoon rather than just letting your adrenaline rise throughout the whole day. I'll tell you another story about my experience in India. So at the school that I study at, they, some of you will know this already, they teach almost exclusively yoga therapy. So it's a one-on-one instruction. They do have 2 classes per day. One's at 6 o'clock in the morning and one's at 6 o'clock in the evening. But all day long in this 5-story building, they're seeing clients one-on-one. And you can imagine, you know, emotionally for the teachers, you know, how taxing that must be to be, you know, hearing about the challenges that everyone's working with, designing the practice, teaching the practice. Okay, 5-minute break, time to see the next person all day long. And so as yoga teachers, they teach us, I mean, you know, when we're in training there, they teach us that between seeing students, seeing clients, we have to take a breathing break. So when the one client leaves, you're supposed to stop and do your breathing. And then the next one comes and you're fresh and ready and, you know, mentally prepared for the next one. So it kind of mirrors what you're talking about, Kelly, about the benefits of doing the break in the middle of the day. Yeah.
That's interesting because that's what I've been doing like between meetings because some days I have back to back Zoom meetings like all day for 8 hours, right? And so I've been making, and I'll show up late just so I can take 5 minutes to just do a little breathing, and it has helped me refocus on the next topic, right? And so I was talking to my colleagues about this, and we're thinking like even at the beginning of every meeting, give everybody like time to breathe as just a practice.
Love it.
Right?
That's fantastic.
Like,
Everyone's going to get healthy.
Minutes, everybody's just going to stop, breathe, switch gears because we're all running, right?
Yeah.
So,
fantastic.
Anyway,
Very good. Very good. I have some comments over here. Let's see. I shared the finger breathing technique with my kids. Awesome. Yeah, any kind of stuff that we can share with kids is great. And they tend to like something that's slightly active. Like if you ask them to just sit there and breathe, they're not going to likely be able to do it. But if there's some little activity associated with it, they're more likely to stick with it. Yael says, counting dramatically helped smoothing the breath. Good, but didn't get to do a class. Okay. Yeah, some people really thrive with the counting and some people find it irritating. So yeah, if it worked for you, great. And if it didn't, it's okay. We have tons of other techniques that we can work with. And then I have a direct message here. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so, yeah, sometimes life happens. There's a lot of stress, some unexpected events or activities that come up, And even with our best intention, we're not able to do the yoga practice or the breathing or the whatever wellness things it is that we had the intention of doing. I like to remind myself that we should not let the yoga practice stress us out. So if you have the intention to do your yoga practice and you're not able to do it, it's fine. Do not let that bother you. Next week or next month or, next time it's, accessible and appropriate in life. When you have that strong intention, that strong conviction, in Sanskrit, it's called shraddha. It's such a hard word to say, but shraddha. When you have that strong conviction, it will happen. When the time is right, you will find time for your practice and start getting rooted with it. So be easy with yourself and take care of the life priorities, when you need to do that. There's always time for the yoga practice. Good. Okay. Any other experiences that you want to share? Yeah, go ahead.
Question. Why is the counting, like, what did you say? Some people find it annoying.
Yes.
I'm one of those people. I don't know why though. Like, I don't know why I find the counting so annoying.
I'll tell you my personal experience. When I first started working with accounting, I found that it made me compete with myself. I thought that I should be counting, for example, to a count of 5, but I was starting to run out of breath at 3, and it was really agitating for me. So I had to stop doing it because it became competitive. But now I love it. Now, like I somehow, I kept trying. I had Shraddha and I kept trying because I knew it was something I wanted to do. And eventually I got to a point where it was not competitive anymore. And in fact, it was beneficial. So yeah, you can keep trying it every once in a while and see if it's better. Yeah. Okay, good. So let's get started with what we're going to work on today. We're going to do a short practice so that we can have plenty of time to cover the topic that we're going to cover today, which is about your personal constitution. I think this will be fun. I think you'll enjoy it. Okay, so for right now, let's do a little bit of asana practice. You can do this standing or sitting, do whatever's comfortable for you. I have pinned the video and I'm going to put you on mute for a little bit so we can get through this practice without any dogs barking or, whatever might be going on in your home. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to switch over to my other camera so you can see better. Okay, so find your starting position, whatever that might be, standing or sitting. And you can begin lengthening your spine and relaxing your shoulders. Now begin focusing on your breathing. Smooth inhales and smooth exhales. Okay, please add a little bit of engagement in your abdominal muscles. Lengthen your spine a little taller, relax your shoulders, and also make sure, please, that your head is in a good position. In other words, not reaching forward like we tend to do when we're looking at a screen, but rather tucked back. Okay. And then the smooth breathing. All right, let's start some moving now. On an inhale, bring your arms out to shoulder height. Exhale, bring your arms down. Inhale, arms stretch out. Exhale, arms come down. One more time like this. Inhale. Exhale. Let's slow it down a little bit. Inhale. Longer movement, arms are coming all the way up. Exhale, arms move out and down. Inhale, out and up. You can go at your own pace. When you exhale, the arms go out and down. Please do one more. Go at your pace. When you finish, your arms are down alongside you. Check in with your posture again. Now, with an inhale, lift your face and look upward. Exhale, lower your chin toward your chest. Keep going like this, smoothly breathing, smoothly moving, coordinating your breath and your movement. Next time you exhale, follow with an inhale that just brings your head back up to neutral. Okay, great. Let's get into some side bending. So step your feet a little bit wide. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, slide toward the left. Inhale, slide to the center. Exhale, slide right. Inhale, center. We're going to keep moving. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. One more time. Exhale, left. Inhale to the center. Exhale, right. Inhale to the center. Stay here for the exhale. Go ahead and step your feet together. Shake your legs out a bit. Okay. And then we need to work on some twisting. So step your feet wide again. On an inhale, extend your left arm out toward the side. Exhale, twist toward your right, touch your shoulder or get close. Inhale, arm stretches out. Exhale, twist, touch your shoulder. Inhale, extend out. Exhale, twist. See how your upper back is feeling here. Inhale. One more time. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, the arm comes down. Now the other side. Inhale, right arm stretches out. Exhale, twist toward the left. Try to touch your shoulder. Inhale, arm extends out. Exhale, twist. Inhale, arm stretches out. Exhale, stretching in your upper back. Inhale. Here's the last one. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Arm rests down. All right, good. Step your feet together. Shake your legs out. Okay. Let us work on some back bending and forward folding. This is a rather strong posture. We're doing relatively extreme movements in both directions. So please go to the range of motion that's comfortable for you. Take rests if you need to. Do what you need to do to make this appropriate and comfortable for your body. So find your comfortable standing position. On an inhale, bring your arms forward and up and lift your chest. Gentle back bend. Exhale, carefully bend your knees and fold any amount that's comfortable for you. Inhale slowly back up, arm stretch overhead, lift your chest, gentle back bend. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. You have the idea. Let's keep going. Do 2 or 3 more. Go at your pace, at your comfort level. In the yoga practice, please never feel peer pressure that you need to do what I'm doing or you need to do what someone else is doing. It's really powerful to pay attention and see what your body needs, what's appropriate for you. Okay, next time you inhale and come up, then exhale, just let your arms rest down and you can remain standing. Find your good posture, engage your abs a little, activate your upper back muscles, bring your head to a good healthy position. Spend 3 breaths. You can use counting if you'd like, or just breathe smoothly. Okay, excuse me. Okay, when you're ready, let's transition to some breathing. So have a seat either on your chair or you can sit on the floor if you prefer. Let's see, this works. Okay, so comfortable sitting position, whatever that looks like for you. Lengthen your spine, relax your shoulders, rest your hands down, probably on your legs. You can close your eyes if it's comfortable. And begin to lengthen out your breathing. Try to keep it very smooth and steady. As you are breathing, bring your attention to your nostrils and observe the sensations of breathing at your nostrils. You can observe how the breath feels on the inhale and also on the exhale. You can notice the temperature at your nostrils and generally how the breath feels, how it's flowing. When you feel ready, switch your attention to your throat and observe the sensations of breathing in your throat, both, of course, for the inhale and the exhale. See if it's possible to lengthen your breathing even just a little bit. And now begin to breathe naturally. No focus in any particular place, just a general focus on breathing. Very good work. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Very nice. Good. Hopefully you're feeling comfortable and well after doing this practice. There is a Sanskrit word called desha, and desha means place. And so today we did the breathing practice based on desha, place, paying attention to this place and then paying attention to this place. And, it's just, I was mentioning that if you don't like counting or if you don't like any certain breathing practices, don't worry, because there are many more. So there's, this is another type of breathing practice you can work on, focusing on the sensations of breathing in different places in your body. Okay, now let's switch gears and we're going to do a little bit of like a theoretical breathing instruction. So last week we worked on, I don't know, I wrote it down. We worked on smooth breathing, we worked on vinyasam, and I think we worked on one other technique. Today, I'd like to show you two more techniques. I got inspired when y'all were telling me earlier about, the breathing during your workday and how you're practicing and not practicing right now. So I'd like to show you two breathing techniques. One is called Chandra Bedana, the other is called Surya Bedana. And these are an alternate nostril breathing type of breathing practice, both of them. We use this mudra. This is called Murgi Mudra. The name is not important, but this is how we generally do it. And what we're going to do is we're going to very gently press one side of the nose with the thumb. And where we press is about right here, like halfway down the nose, where you can feel your bone inside. And you don't press hard. It's very, very light. In fact, we're not even trying to close it entirely. We're just trying to narrow the opening slightly. So we use the thumb on the one side, and on the other side, we use the other two fingers. And you might wonder, why do you use one finger on one side and two fingers on the other side? It's because the thumb is big and these are smaller. So when we put them together, they're approximately equal in size. Lots of information here. So if this is too challenging, if it hurts your hand, if it feels weird, if whatever, you don't have to do this. You could also just use your thumb and index fingers. That's totally fine. You could use your left hand if you want to. And I need to give you one more piece of information, but I feel like I'm telling you too much. So just bear with me. But one other thing is, if you are congested or if you have a deviated septum like I do, you might find this to be uncomfortable. Like it may make it so that one side gets completely closed and you can't breathe. If that's the case, you can also do this alternate nostril type of breathing by just mentally guiding your breath. It'll make sense when we get started here. So rather than like closing so that, like when you close this side, you're breathing through this side. When you close this side, you breathe through this side. Rather than physically closing it, you can just mentally say, now I'm going to breathe through the right nostril. Okay, so lots of different kind of techniques that you can use to accomplish this kind of breathing. First, let us practice Chandra Bedana. Chandra means moon. And when we think about the qualities of the moon is cool, calm. It has some light, but it's not like the sun, like, it's a calm kind of cooling light. So these are the qualities of the breathing practice also. This is a calming breathing. This is meant for like when you're agitated or stressed out or frustrated and you need to calm down. This is the kind of, this is a breathing technique you can use that will be very beneficial. The way we do it is we inhale through the left nostril. So you're going to close the right one very lightly. Inhale left, and then switch over and exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right, always the same way. So go at your own pace. Next time you complete an exhale, can lower your hand and breathe normally through both nostrils for 3 times, 3 repetitions. Okay, very good. And then take a break and let's have a little chat. I'm gonna now invite everybody to unmute themselves. So please feel free to talk if you want to. How did this breathing technique feel? Any interesting observations?
You know, that kind of stillness is scary. I think that's why I'm fighting it, because that kind of not moving after, it's kind of scary. Like I couldn't
Okay.
relax because I'm so tense because I got stuff to do. So
Yeah,
I couldn't, it was scary to like really relax because you don't think you can get back up. You know what
right.
I mean? Like for
Yeah,
you know how you're busy, busy, busy. And if you do take a second, I'm scared to
yeah,
sit down and not want to get back up. You know, it's only
yeah,
because I have a plan that really
right.
motivates me to keep on moving in
Yeah,
there. But I was sitting here and I was like, how is she going to get us back focusing on her? Because I'm ready to sit, I'm done, you
oh, we're
know?
gonna do another breathing technique to handle that in just a minute.
Okay.
So yeah, bear with me for just a little bit. Breathe. Do a little bit of breathing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm like,
that can,
oh.
yeah, that's a great observation. And it takes some bravery to say that. So thank you for, voicing that, because other people may be feeling it as well. And even if you're not feeling it today, you may have that experience in the future, or you've had it in the past in your breathing practice. So you know how I was speaking earlier about, first we begin with asana because that's what we're capable of. Like that's what our brain is capable of understanding, and breathing is more subtle and more powerful. Even in breathing, there's a continuum of more active practices that are appropriate for people with busier minds. And then there are more subtle practices that are appropriate for people who already have a pretty calm mind and they're working on like refining that even more. I would categorize this Chandra Vedana in that category. So if you're a person who has a very busy mind, this one might not be comfortable for you. You need a different breathing practice that's a little bit more active, a little bit more engaging. Yeah, good. Any other, I see some things in the comments. In my mind, it felt uneven. Okay, I had to fight the urge to do the opposite way. Okay, good. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. Perfect. Letting go completely is super scary. Yeah, letting go and being relaxed when we're not accustomed to it. And especially during periods of life when we're under a lot of stress, a lot of activity, yeah, absolutely. That can be hard. Okay, good. My mind is very busy. I have a hard time slowing it down. Okay. So let me continue with my plan, and then I'm going to need to teach you a third breathing technique that I hadn't intended to, but with the questions and the comments that are coming in, it's needed. So this next breathing technique, we're not going to practice it actually. I'm just going to tell you about it so that you can use it when it's appropriate. So I told you about Chandra Vedana. Chandra, by the way, if you're taking notes, you could spell it like Chandra. But in Sanskrit, we don't write CH. The C has a CH sound. So you can also write it as Candra, Chandra Vedana. And Chandra means moon. The opposite breathing is Surya Vedana. Surya, Surya, is sun. Surya is the sun. And when we think about the sun, it has the qualities of being energizing and heating. And so when we do the Surya Vedana breathing practice, this is a beneficial one for if you're feeling sluggish, lethargic, a little depressed, like you're kind of down and you need energy because you need to stay awake through a meeting, or like you need to drive home, or any kind of thing where you need a little more energy. Kind of like in place of a cup of coffee, you could do this breathing practice, Surya Vedana. And so Jessica mentioned that she was fighting the urge because it felt uneven and she wanted to do the opposite. So this is the opposite. Inhale right, exhale left. When we inhale right and exhale left, this is Surya Vedana and it's energizing. It sounds like we don't need this right now. We already have a lot of folks here who are already having busy minds. I don't need to energize you more. So we're not going to actually practice it, but I just want you to know about it for when you need it. Okay. With either of these two breathing practices, they're very powerful. So don't do a lot of them. I would recommend not more than 6 repetitions, maybe even just 3, and then follow that with normal breathing through both nostrils, just to kind of like even things out. And then if you find, okay, that wasn't enough, I'm still agitated, then you can do 3 more rounds of the calming one or 3 more rounds of the energizing one, depending on what you need. Okay, so now you know about those 2. I'm guessing you wouldn't practice them both back to back. Oh, Jessica, you're a step ahead of me. So the third breathing technique that I didn't intend to teach today, but I'm going to, is Nadi Shodhana. This is also a very powerful breathing technique. And it's like those first 2 that I taught you, I had never heard of in the US. Like nobody teaches that. I learned them in India, but Nadi Shodhana, the one I'm going to teach you now, people do teach this here in the US. So you like if you talk to someone about this, like a yoga teacher, they'll probably know what you're talking about. Okay, Nadi Shodhana does combine the 2, but in a very special way, like a specific way. The way we do Nadi Shodhana is inhale left, exhale right, then inhale right, exhale left. And it feels a little tricky when you actually do it, because you're going to exhale through one nostril and inhale through the same nostril. And then you end up doing that on both sides. So let's practice this one. I'm going to talk you through it. Decide which technique you're going to use, if you're going to use the traditional one or thumb and index finger, or just do this mentally. Any of them are fine. I'm going to get you started. And then because all of us have a different pace of breathing, I'll give you some time to practice it on your own. Yeah, just try to really pay attention in the beginning so you can get the sequence so that you are able to continue on your own. Okay, so please lengthen your spine. When we do these techniques that use the hand, since the arm is on one side of the body, it has a tendency to make your head turn. So try to not do that. Rather keep your head centered and bring your arm to meet your nose. So when you're ready, inhale through your left. Exhale through your right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Please continue. You can go at your pace. If you need a break, take a break. Next time you get around to exhale on the left, take a break and breathe naturally. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. I'm very curious to see what y'all think about this one. So Jessica was the one asking mainly about, the left and the right and the balance and all of that. So Jessica, how did that feel for you? Oh, I think you're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
That one felt much more, it requires a lot more concentration.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it can be good, but also challenging, like in not a good way. So
Yeah.
I guess it's depending on what you're needing from it. So it made me think you said the moon one was kind of like soothing and the sun one was energizing. So what would you say this one is supposed to increase or cause?
It's balancing. So this is a balancing breathing. And in the, I see some people nodding their heads like, yeah, that's what I thought. In the ancient, I look this way because that's where my bookshelf is, but in the ancient texts that teach about these things, they describe this as the most powerful, the most beneficial breathing practice that helps us really optimize our health. So this is, if it's comfortable for you, it's a great breathing practice that you can do all the time. It's not going to cause any harm. This one definitely is more complicated and requires more concentration. So it's beneficial for people who need that, like who need something for their mind to hold on to be able to be calm. Kind of like we were talking about earlier, if you have a breathing practice that's too calm and too subtle, like people with a busy mind are not comfortable with it, but people with a busy mind tend to be more okay with this one.
So this one won't calm you so much that you don't want to get back up.
Right.
Is that
It'll
what
help you be calm and energized, like in an appropriate, healthy way.
I have a question. You started doing the one where we free inhale and then
Yes.
do, what's that one? What's that one about? Like, what's that?
That's a whole other one. Let's save that
Oh, is
one
it
for
really?
another day. Yeah.
Is it really? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a different variation of an alternate nostril breathing. That one is Anuloma Ujjayi, which is beneficial. So, okay, since we brought it up, let me talk about it and not leave people in the dark. Don't write notes about this because it's too many breathing techniques in one day and it'll get confusing. But there are also 2 other breathing techniques where sometimes we inhale through both nostrils and sometimes we use alternate nostrils. There's a pattern to it. And those have different purposes, like since it's so complicated, again, it's good for people who have busy minds and need to concentrate on something to be able to relax. Those also can be beneficial for calming, energizing, and also releasing blockages that you may have in your respiratory system. So yeah. Yeah, so there's lots and lots of breathing practices, but for today we have Chandra Vedana, Surya Vedana, and Nadi Shodhana. I didn't spell Nadi Shodhana for you. It's Nadi. Nadi means the energy channels in your body, and Shodhana, I don't know what Shodhana means. It must mean like balancing. And the way you spell that is, you could do it 2 ways, Shodhana, or you can spell it without the first H. So Sodhana. Shodhana is written, in case you're interested in Sanskrit, it's written with an accent mark over the S, which makes a sh sound. So that's why you can write it either with the SH or with just an S. I think there's a couple of more comments. Great comments here. I'm finding it impossible to stay still during breathing practice these days. Yeah, it may be that you have a lot of stress. Breathing practice is not appropriate, not beneficial for you right now. Stick with asana practice if you're having trouble sitting still. On the other hand, if you're feeling like you're falling asleep in the breathing practice, also don't do breathing practice and focus on getting more sleep. Yeah. Okay, I like that one. Focused better on the breath rather than my mind wandering. Perfect, very good. I like the symmetry, excellent. How does using different nostrils in a certain order promote the benefit? Okay, so I talked about Nadi for a second there. So we have different, have you seen a drawing of like, there's a body and then there's like the colors of the chakras going up the body like this. And then there's some lines that curve through like this. So those curvy lines represent the energy channels. There's 3 main ones in the body. The one down the middle is called Sushumna. You don't need to know all these names. It's just the concept that I'm trying to share with you. These are called Ida and Pingala, and I can never remember which one is left and which one is right. But the left nostril is associated with the one that is the moon and calming and all of that. So it has that quality. And then the right side has the energizing quality. So that's the relationship there. Yeah, okay. Okay, good. So now let's change gears, unless there are any other questions or comments about breathing. We're good? Okay, let's change gears and start to and change cameras too. I'm going to come over here on this camera. And while I do the things that I need to do, in other words, like switch the camera, fix the lights, go get the paper from the printer,